Check white balance. Right, we're going. Well, hello there everybody. We're back with a First Look Friday, and this is going to be the first look Friday, the first look Friday of 2026. And I'm sure you're wondering what it is, and as I mentioned last time I was on here, it is a Wingnut Wings kit. So here we have it, Wingnut Wings Salmson 2-A2 USAS. This is an airplane that I'd never heard of until I actually got this kit, and it appears there's a little figure with it, or is there? I don't know. I have had a quick look inside here, but nothing in depth, and it was a while ago, as I've had this kit for quite a while. So yeah, where did I get this kit? Funny story. Well, it's just not funny, it's just a story. I actually bought this kit from Andy's hobby headquarters over there in Arizona, the United States of America. I didn't go because it's in America and I can't go there right now or anytime soon. But I've got a friend who lives nearby, so I asked her to, here's some cash, here's some money, go and buy me a Wingnut Wings kit from Andy's hobby headquarters. Gave her the address. She said, oh, I know where that is. And this is what we got. I didn't specify a particular model because I didn't know what he had, and I was unable to check his online store. So I just asked her to pick something that looks nice. And she got this. And the cover is very nice, gotta say. The airplane itself, not the prettiest vehicle I've ever seen, but and I'm the kind of person who builds models because I like the way they look, mostly, because I'm vain like that. So I should ask her why she picked this particular one. I never asked her that. I should ask her. But, you're probably wondering why Andy's hobby headquarters in Arizona, because he, just before I bought this kit, he announced on his YouTube channel, link below, that you're just getting a last shipment of Wingnut Wings kits in. So at the time, Wingnut Wings kits were stupidly expensive because shortly after they went bankrupt or ended trading, the prices of the kits just went sky high, through the roof. And I know this happened because literally about a week before it was announced that they were going bankrupt, I heard rumours something's going on. I thought it's maybe my last chance to get a decent Wingnut Wings kit, so I bought one. Not this one, the previous one. You'll see that in another First Look Friday. And I paid just over £69 for that kit. And within a week of me receiving that kit, which is I can't remember where I got it from, but it was a UK dealer. Within a week of that kit arriving to me, that same model was on sale on YouTube, on eBay and other places for upwards of £200. It literally more than doubled its price in space of a week or so, simply because Wingnut Wings was no longer trading. So this one was, I felt I needed to get another one, and this was what I got. Yeah, so there it is. Here it is. Right, story over. Let's take a look at the box. Very nice box art on the front there, as you can see. Number 24 airplane, it says. This is a French aircraft, the Salmson. I didn't know this until I looked into the aircraft, but yeah. That's the front. On this side, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 color versions. Let's get a close look at that. So there you go. The rugged and dependable 260 horsepower radial engine powered Salmson 280, well, more dialogue on there, telling you a little bit about the aircraft itself. So it's running out of space on the desk here, but yeah, that's the last one there. Can't go any further. Yeah, I need to move things about a bit. Just bear with me a moment. Yeah, the microphone's in the way, and other things, Should have thought of this before I started recording. Anyway, so there you go. That's that side of the box. On this side of the box, let me zoom out rather. On this side of the box, it's basically the box cover with same name. On this top side of the box, you got 6 languages telling you what it is. High quality scale model kit, choking hazard, contains parts to assemble one model aircraft, sorry, I said that. Alternative parts and decals for multiple versions included. There you go. So that's in 5 different languages: English, French, Italian, German, Japanese, and Spanish, I believe. On here there's the barcode. At the bottom here it says 2013 Wingnut Wings Limited, made in China. So the company was based in New Zealand, but it was manufactured in China. On this end, same as the other side, and we're back to that side there. On the back, just a box. Right, let's take a look what. There we are. Let's take a look what's inside the box. Now, as well as the cost of the model, which I have receipts here, it cost me $141.95. Now, actually, I didn't. I gave my friend just over $100, but she paid the extra because it was my birthday coming up, so she decided that it was worth her while paying a little bit more just so that I can get this nice little kit. So there you go. Thank you, Lee. And birthday card as well, which I have opened and read. So look, you're the tits. And a little letter in there which I've read and probably will read again in a minute now, after I've done this rather. So yeah, what would life be without good friends? Yeah. Anyway, a lot of plastic in here. The box is full to the brim, as you can see. And yeah, right, what I normally do with these things is like to turn it upside down and lift the inside bit out, because then when I put stuff back in, I'm putting it back in the way it came out, and happily all the paperwork's in the bottom. So massive decal sheet, as you can see here. In fact, 3 decal sheets in here. What else do I have here? The massive paperwork. Not so much an instruction leaflet, more of a magazine really. That's a glossy magazine all the way through. And what else do I have? And that's where the plastic starts. So, being somebody who likes looking at the instruction manual, we'll just read the instructions as well. We shall start, as is tradition, with the instruction manual. Looks like I'm going to have to tip it up because it's shiny. This instruction booklet, as is the case with all Wingnut Wings kits, is one of the reasons why these models were very well sought after. Mainly because it got this very old detailed booklet which tells you a lot about the aircraft itself, the model itself. So you've got three not chapters, what I'm looking for. 3 paragraphs. My language is so bad. 3 paragraphs detailing this airplane, Wingnut Wings Salmson A280. If you want to read it yourself, I shall, pause and have a read. Hopefully the 4K quality will make it legible. And yeah. Apparently, French industrialist Émile Samson had been building radial engines designed by Georges Canton and Jules Une since 1910, and had been designing aircraft by 1914, and began designing aircraft by 1914, and so it goes on. So this plane dates from, when was it? 1917 to 1919, tells me down here, or up to 1927 apparently. Had a wingspan of 11.7 meters or 36.6 feet. It was 8 meters long, 8.5 meters long, weighed 1,500 kilograms. Had a maximum speed of 187 miles per hour. Sorry, 187 kilometers per hour. Get it right. 116 miles per hour. Other things, apparently they made rather 3,200 and 600, so 3,800 models all in. And other stuff that is boring to me, so I'll continue. So let's take a look on the inside. So page 1, you got warning, assembly, warning, choking hazard, blah, blah, blah. So basically, keep away from small children. 1/32 scale Salmson model. These you have the various legends telling you what these symbols mean. Constructions, test part numbers, decals, photo edge part. There. Choose. Got options. Do not cement. Picture of an elephant in a red circle. Cement for metal. That still means strength. Other side, paint color. And down below here you got upwards of 26 paint colors listed. All colors, and then you got the Tamiya numbers, so all of them are available in Tamiya. Homebrew numbers, which is a few exceptions, and federal standard. I have no idea what the federal standard is for paints, but there you go. Next, page 2 is your sprue map. Sprues, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 sprues plus, sorry, 8 sprues, there's 2 sprue D, plus the photo etch, decal sheet number 2, and a third decal sheet. There you go. And apparently there's only 2 bits, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 parts that are not used. So I suspect they probably made other versions of this model, of this aircraft, or this model kit. Okay, first build page, and it starts in the cockpit, as is tradition. The design, the way this is laid out is fairly different from other instruction manuals I've seen. Actually, the Bandai is closest to this, but starts off in the cockpit area, building up the internals, lots of bulkheads and square things, rigging. I don't know what you call these things. I should do, but you know, wireless here. It also tells you exactly what most of these pieces are. Like, for example, over here there's a wireless aerial, so aerial for the wireless down here, which are wireless, I assume they mean the radio, and then roller pedals, blah blah blah, frames on the surface, and so on. Over here you've got a black and white photograph. Let's get a close look at that. Got a black and white photograph of the aircraft, of an original aircraft, which is something that Wingnut Wings uses a lot of in this one. So basically that's an idea of what the structure of the aircraft looks like. So when you're building the kit, every now and then, like for example there's another one over here, there'll be like a photograph of the original aircraft suggesting how what you've built should look. So that should look fairly similar to this. It really doesn't, because this is a 1/32 scale plastic kit, and this is a full-size aircraft with lots of little bits in it. But you got the idea. It does help. It really does help. So page 1 and page 3 to 4, you build in the internals, cockpit, etc. Page 5, more internal bits, and you can also do a lot of rigging in this. but it does say rigging material is not supplied, so you need to supply your own. That's assuming you want to go to the trouble of putting in all these riggings, and that is a lot of work for something that you're not going to see really. So I guess that's your option there, you know, put it in and know you've done it, or don't bother and nobody will notice. There you go. You carry on with the kit. So this section here is all just painting. What colours to paint the kit, and they all appear to be wood colours because it's mostly made of wood, as most planes back in those days were. We go to page 6 is the fuselage sections. So telling you to drill some holes, paint wooden stringer detail and so on. So looks like you've got the fuselage, and into the fuselage you apply the internal bits that you've built before. Down here is a picture of an airplane which appears to have crashed, sort of. Here it says 91st Aero Squadron Salmson 2-A2 571 or 371 15 awaits salvage following an all too common accident. Yeah. Note the position of the boot print. 91st Aero Squadron red and white diagonal stripes. On the port wings, fabric strips 56. Doped over the carbane. Dot of the carbane wing gaps. And the usual position of the TSF stencil markings. So there you go. You want to get the plane looking as authentic as possible. Got nice photographs there to show you what it is. So we'll go over to page 7, and page 7 is all about the engine, building the engine. So 260 horsepower Salmson 9Z engine. This is a 9-cylinder radial engine. So it is a radial, not a rotary. Yeah, so the engine itself doesn't rotate, or does it? Yeah, no, it doesn't. So I just mentioned that because earlier engines around this time, the whole unit would rotate, and the propeller would be fixed onto that. So you got those whole cylinders rotating, which was created quite a gyroscopic force on the aircraft, and yeah, and because it was spinning around so fast, oil would get thrown out and so on. So hot oil like that. So anyway. Very detailed images on how to put together the engine. Because I was wondering, because is this the front half of the cylinders? Or is it all the cylinders? So E13, lots of bits. Yeah, I guess it'll make more sense to me once I see the parts that you put together. Anyway, so that's the engine there. There's a radiator as well down there. And then down here, the photograph of an American serviceman. This photograph of an American serviceman allows us to see the rear of the Salmson 9Z engine, which is hanging from a block and tackle. So there you go. Another picture, another photograph of the aircraft. A47, so it looks like there's a pointing out a little piece that you may need to add on the aircraft later on. And then page 8 continues on with adding the radiator, placing the radiator onto the front of the engine, and then placing that whole unit onto the front of the fuselage. Let's show you that better. There you go. So there's more painting guides here. Down below that you have some photographs of the engine mounted to the body, mounted to the fuselage rather. Not sure how this helps, but it is quite nice to see. If you're interested in these sort of things, engineering and stuff like that, this sort of thing is quite interesting. Yeah. Okay then, so we get to page 9. Aluminium cowls. So this page is showing you how to fit the cowls onto the front of the fuselage just behind the engine. Below that is a photograph of what appears to be a crashed aircraft without any cowls on it. So So the partially salvaged fuselages of Salmson 282, 3116 and 3184 display many interesting details such as the aluminium footwell / firewall and extensive electrical wiring. So more hints there if you want to really detail out this model. Page 10 continues on. So it looks like, does it match? You got the wings suddenly attached onto the vehicle. So it doesn't tell you about how to apply the wings. Did I miss a page? Did I miss something? I did. So anyway, it appears that we have, well, it tells you there, bottom wings. And as well as that, you've got the Vickers machine gun to apply to the vehicle, which sits on top of the front end of the aircraft, on the nose of the aircraft, obviously. So Vickers machine gun there, and then down below that there is 1918 Marlin machine guns. So it's like I had a choice of one or the other. One, what looks like a Gatling gun type, multi-barreled machine gun, or this one, which is two machine guns. And below that, over here, there's a couple of photographs showing these machine guns in situ. So below that, it tells you how to fix the struts onto the wings. Those are 1, 2, 4, 6, 8 struts, which would hold the top wing in place, and painting, how to paint all these and so on. And then just here there's a little photograph. Oh, well, it's a black and white photograph admittedly, but it shows you in nice detail. It shows you in nice detail exactly where the paint colours are and what the little stripes here, which are, let me see, Maroflage, it says there. Strut detail from an early production French Salmson A282 rather, showing the Maroflage linen wrapped around the wooden struts for additional strength. So that's what this name is, Maroflage linen. So yeah. Next page, on page 11, putting on the top wings. Top wings are made of two parts. There's one, or is it? Yeah, I think they're made of two parts. Or is it just one part? I'm not sure. Starboard wing. There's that thing there, K-bar, which goes on top of it. So is it just one wing or a top and a bottom part? Starboard wing top, port wing top. Something goes in between there. So I guess I'll find out. Well, I can't just look at the sprue map. So according to the sprue map, there's so just got wings. Is there a sprue map I missed? Apparently not. Okay, so it looks like the wings are in two halves, so one wing for each. Well, one wing for each side of the top and bottom. Yeah. All right then. So I don't think the wings are in top halves because I think because the wings themselves are quite thin, they don't need to be made of two parts. So there you go. Down here, K-band strut and rigging detail from 91st Air Squadron. So a lot of rigging that I may or may not choose to put in. I don't know about that yet. But anyway, below that on page 11, we've got the landing gear, the wheels, and undercarriage struts, complete with paint guides and how to assemble. And then on the next page, page 12, you're applying some more. It says paint inside engine cowls. You're applying a couple of engine cowls on there, and then there is a photograph of the undercarriage. So if you want to detail it out, that gives you some idea of exactly what the original looked like. And below that, there's another photograph of a few aircraft sitting nose to nose. This is probably from the 186th Air Squadron, lined up outside the Zeppelin hangar at Trier. The second aircraft on the left, which I think is that one there, appears to be 1079 13. I see on page 26. Let's go to page 26. There's a lot of pages in this book. There you go. And I think it's because of the color here. You've got the darker area. You've got the darker area there with the lighter grey there, which matches up with that there. Guesswork on their part, but if the photographs were taken around the same time, it could quite easily be correct. So let's go on. Page 13. We're continuing on with, let me see there, top of the page 13. Ailerons and nose details. Get rid of some reflection there. Again, more engine cowls. And also the ailerons on the top wings. I think we put the ailerons on the bottom wings on the previous page. On page 11, yeah, there you go. We go down, we have nose cowl details from an unidentified late production Salmson 2-A2. Not the two-tone radiator cowling. Rear view mirror. So A48 is rear view mirror. So there is rear view mirror part. Does it show it? Yeah, there it is. So now you're putting in more bits. What is this here? External generator detail up here from the 186 Aero Squadron Salmson 2A2 1079. The teen shown on page 26. Yeah, that's a big close-up of that aircraft. And of course down here you got the you're applying some more bits, some radio paperwork, this generator and the main propeller. So do you paint that to look like wood or not? Let's have a look. I can't see the model. Possibly. Anyway, page 14, part 9. We're building up the tail. Control horns onto the tailplane, which are they separate? I guess they are. And control horn for the vertical stabilizer, the fin. And then down below you got pictures of the tail fins from the a particular squadron. Shows you what they look like there. So I'm fairly certain some of these numbers will appear on the decal sheet. And below that there's some more images showing various struts and that holding the tail fin up. And down here shows you how to apply this particular rudder support strut. That goes across the top and middle. Doesn't show these pieces, but maybe that'll appear on the next page. Lots of stuff, you know, struts and stuff to put on. No, it doesn't. So on the next page, page 15, we have the build section 10, and this is the observer's armament. Detailed drawings there of the one of the machine guns, Lewis guns. Apparently this aircraft had two, so the observer that blocks it in the back seat, there's one chap there now, Howard Fleeson, it appears to be his name, shows off the bright steel barrels and 97 round magazines of his double Lewis guns on the B2. Note that the horizon blue paint has almost completely worn off his T0-3 Trull French manufacturer scarf ring. I don't know what he's talking about there. Yeah, I don't know what that is, but does it mean that there, or anyway? Yep. So anyway, pictures of the machine guns, assembling the machine guns. You've got PE parts to put them together for fineness, so lots of PE to work with on this kit. The rotating dolly or mount to sit on. Bungee material not included. There's bungee material. Oh yes, I can see it there. It's very fine. You can just see the little blue line there, and that. But as close as we're going to get. So basically there's that line there which appears to be some bungee cord. So that was page 15. So page 16. Page 16 is some rigging. So details on how to apply the rigging on this aircraft. So you've got three thicknesses there: 0.3 millimeter, 0.15 millimeter common, and 0.1 millimeter wireless wire. Wireless wire, yeah. All of them there, and then you've got these other ones here, which are these here, I'm guessing, the rigging. So these are wires which aren't support structures, and then you've got the purple ones, which are more purple and pink ones, which are and green ones rather, which are the various wireless wires. Now they've got this this one here shows AB, which is flat, like a flat wire, which I believe is designed that way to be some sort of aerodynamic thing, to pull less drag, I guess. Because it doesn't tell you exactly which one of these it is, but I assume it's all of them. Or that one. Over here there's a photograph showing you the mounting points, how the rigging is supported, mounted on the base of the struts, for example. Usual double baton style rigging, it says there. Port inner front strut. It's all very complicated, but highly detailed and such. Next page is page 17. Paint color scheme and decal guide. Okay, so this is for 2A2 first Aero Squadron, AJ Coyle for 1 victory, JW Corley 3 victories, AE Easterbrook 5 victories, October-November 1918. So you've got the painting guide for the fuselage and decal fixings. So that's what that is. Below that there's the photograph of the aircraft that you're doing. So if you want to make this particular airplane, you've got French markings but American flag, so it appears that they had an American flag in this airplane. So there you go, a photograph of the actual airplane itself. A couple more photographs of the same aircraft, I think. So there you go, nice black and white photographs from back in the day. Lots of nostalgia going on here. Next, paint markings is Salmson 2-82 1319. Quote 6, unquote, Old Carolina Fall. D.H. Arthur and H.T. Fleeson. 2 victories, don't know. Late 1918. You can't see any of that. Late 1918. So that's what I was talking about, the aircraft there. Again, different paintwork. The tail is the same, red, white and blue. Just double check. Yeah. With specific decals on that as well. And then over here you've got the wing markings. The stripes on there, number 6. And below that, photographs of a similar aircraft. Now see, you got this this number 6 here with the American flag on it. And it'd be nice if you showed that side, because there's nothing on the other side that's of any real, well, that's not so easy to duplicate, but you know, this shows you like this American flag here, which would be nice to see exactly how that goes on the aircraft. Oh, is that? No, it's not. Right, it's not painted on or anything. It is an actual flag. So, yeah, I stand corrected. Next page, Samsung 2A2 18, 3 victories. So 3 victories, 91st Aero Squadron, K. Douglas, L.C. Hammond, 1 victory, and A.M. Seymour, late 1918. So this one is, again, there's photographs of this aircraft as well. So some detail there as to biography of some of the pilot's crew of this aircraft. Next page, 21. Is Samsung 2A2 17, 186th Aero Squadron, H.C. McCaslin, mid 1919. So unless the float is playing solo, maybe they don't have the names of the other crew members. And so this one just shows one side of it, I'm guessing. So yeah, so it looks like on here it says 86 top question mark, see page 23. So what's page 23? There you go, page 23. So when you look at the top of the aircraft, that's what you're getting. Page 22, back a page. This is a Samsung A2A2 54648, First Aero Squadron, WP Irwin, 8 victories, AE Easterbrook, 5 victories, June 1919. Again, you have the red, white and blue on the tail, but the blue looks different from the other. This is a lot paler than the other one we've seen. Yeah, than the previous tails we've seen, so something to keep an eye out on if you want to get the accuracy correct. My glasses are falling down. Anyway, so if you want to get the accuracy correct, just check the if you're painting this one instead of this one, the colours on here are a bit lighter, warmer. Well, the red is warmer, and you got the wing markings as well there, and a photograph of the number 8, an actual aerial photograph, which is quite lovely, I think. There you go, and there's a biography of the crew and aircraft there, assuming that you can see and read it. Pause. Next page 23 has got pictures of the various vehicles, all that you may have seen before. So I think these photographs are reference photographs showing the various vehicles that you may or may not choose to paint and finish with. Tells you underneath each photograph pretty much which aircraft they're talking about. That's another one there, and more pictures over here. Very nicely well made magazine, this one. And down at the bottom there you have dark green fuselage fabric taken from the First Aero Squadron Salmson. So colour photographs of what appears to be actual markings from these aircraft. And on page 26, one last photograph of a number 13 aircraft. And then down below here you have 4 people, 3D modelling by Nick Moore. So these are the people, or some of the people, responsible for this model kit. 3D modelling by Nick Moore, profile art by Ronnie Barr, product coordinator Richard Alexander, and box art by Steve Anderson. So the nice picture. So the front is painted by this guy, the guy in the dark glasses. And on the back, nothing. So you have a picture of the main of the kit, and then down here it tells you various parts and decals and so on. Down below here you have images of 3 other models that you could buy from Wingnut Wings, Rumpler, C4, Early, DH9, Ninak, and RE8, Harry Tate. Also available from Wingnut Wings. 2013, Wingnut Wings Limited, Wellington, New Zealand. Of course, the company is not around anymore, so if you can find the Wingnut Wings kits, they'll be fairly pricey. Ask me how I know. Next up, do I want to open this? Yes, I do. I was going to get a pair of scissors. In fact, I will. No, I've got a knife, so I'll use that. Should have put a new blade in this, but people reacting with shock and horror as I defile these parts, these bags. So there is, get them out here. Lots of things in here. So these were right at the bottom of the kit with the instruction manual booklet on top of that. So basically the booklet protected the decals from damage, something that one or two models here on the YouTube would like to see more of. Not to mention any names, but I should put a link to that chap's channel. I should know his name though. Let's have a look. Yeah, Peter Oxley. It's one of the things that he does mention quite often. And yeah, another thing that he does mention, which I agree with him on actually, is that you know, if you're gonna go to all the trouble of making this kit as detailed as possible, it'd be nice if you told us what some of the parts are, like they did in this booklet. You know, pointing out, you know, this little air generator, you know, things that you know that you probably wouldn't recognize. Anyway, that aside, let's take a look at this particular decal sheet. Tiny decal sheet, got two decals on there, well two, which are the important ones. I believe these are decals for the tail fin. There you go. Second decal sheet, way bigger than the previous one. I'm going to need to zoom out a bit for this one. So this has got some big numbers on it, 24 and 8, and more tail fin markings. See yourself some smaller bits here and some even tiny bits there. That's a poser lever, I think. Wingnut Wings 2013, designed in New Zealand, printed by Cartograph.com in Italy. So you got Italian decals by Cartograph, well known for their very nice decals. A bit of tape that had stuck onto the desk earlier. I shall, instead of throwing it away, I shall use it. So to stick this together, that will do. Next up, the biggest decal sheet of them all, and this thing's huge. So you got all the roundels, French roundels. Is that French? Or is this what American roundels were before they became French? It appears to be an American aircraft. So was this a French aircraft or was it an American aircraft? Or is it a French markings aircraft, or is it a or is this a American markings aircraft made in France? I'm not sure. I guess if I actually read the very detailed story in here, I'd know more about it. But it does say that it's a French industrialist, so French aircraft to me, that's what it means. So you've got the big decals here. You'll notice that these big roundels are in two parts. This is mainly because they go on the ends, on the edges of the wings. So this bit is on the main wing, this bit is a moving part of the wing. So yeah. So you've got a choice of both. Well, not a choice, but anyway. More other stuff here. And there you go, that's pretty much everything. Down at the bottom here, you've got all the little straps, the little yellow straps and blue straps. I assume these will be to replicate the linen wrapped around the various struts, and also tiny little markings there as well. Not markings, but other things. What do you call those things? Stencils and badges, that sort of thing. So I'm hoping we're in focus here. You know, we did have somebody complaining that some pictures, some of the images they could see were not in focus. I try my best, but you know, sometimes you're limited to what the camera's capable of doing. And yeah. So here we go. Shall stick this on. Get on the side first. That'll do. Right, I'll slip you back in the bag along with its other stabilites. That's a big one. And the even bigger one. I've got to mention, yeah. So the date I bought this model was 2020, so that's like over 5 years ago now. One more bit to look at, and I don't need to take it out of the plastic because you can see quite clearly through the plastic. Can we focus on it? Yes, we can. So you've got the Wingnut Wings metal parts there, nice and shiny. Seat belts. This bit, don't know what it is. Part of the fuselage piece. Some gun sights. These bits I recognise. They're for the machine gun. The twin machine guns in the back seat, in the co-pilot seat. Not the co-pilot seat. The observer. That's what they call them, isn't it? So yeah. To be honest, I'm not very particularly keen on using these metal parts. It seems that no matter what I do to get them stuck on properly, they all seem to come off. You know, am I using the poor quality super glue or what? There you go. Next up, lots of plastic. Let's take a look at some plastic. Right, first bag off the top. Wings. Do I need to take this out of the bag? Well, I will take them out of the bag. Ouch. Big bits of plastic. I haven't seen so much plastic since I made the 124 scale Messerschmitt 109. Yeah, didn't you just enjoy that? Actually, before I continue, I shall change the background. Just a moment. Much easier for the camera to work with. Much easier for you to see. Right then, this is sprue. Get it right around. Sprue B. And it's wings. So top wings, bottom wings. So the wings, each wing is one part. Now the lower wings have all the little holes for the struts, and just around the holes, around the strut mounts, you have the little holes for the rigging. So it's all there for you, ready to go. The moulding is basically the moulding is every bit as good as you'd expect from such a high quality model manufacturer, and you've got these strange marks in the plastic. This isn't a problem, it's just basically how the plastic moved inside the mold, and the slightly different colours are where it cooled down slightly differently from the rest of it. But there you go. Nothing to worry about. And that is sprue B. Next sprue is all individually bagged. This is sprue A. So sprue A is mostly internal bits. I have radiator parts there. So these three bits are each with a radiator. Got various parts for the cockpit and internals. Let's get a close look at those if you want. So, oh, this is a lot of pieces. So this piece here, I assume there's another one. There you go, to match it. That's pretty much the cockpit, and these top bits are the struts that will hold up. Well, 4 other struts that will hold up the top wing. So virtually all these parts, most of these parts are double-sided. No, that one isn't, but I can tell it's not double-sided because it has the push pin marks on it. So everything else is very clean and tidy. The moulding is very clean and sharp, like actually much neater than I think I've seen on any model I've looked at recently. Yeah, I think only the Meng models were as good as this. Wouldn't surprise me if Madeline Meng made these things. These are made in China, so I wouldn't be surprised if the factory that makes Meng kits also molded these. It could happen. Anyway, that is sprue A. Let's get you all in there. There you go. Next up, shall I get a pair of scissors first? Just a moment. Right, let's do some cutting here. So this is sprue G. As you can see, this sprue is mostly cowling parts. The main base floor of the fuselage over there, wing tips, or rather wing moving parts of the wings, ailerons, engine cowling, undercarriage, struts, what appears to be a part of the something that goes around behind the engine. How would I call that? Let's take a closer look at these bits because they look very nice. Again, there you got the G. Again, it goes without saying, the molding is very clean and tidy. These parts, the cowling parts, have vents which you can pretty much see all the way through. You can see that. That's such a fine piece of molding, and when I say you can see all the way through, but you can see through them, but only at certain angles, like the angles that were designed to be looked through. So that's some very fine molding there. I haven't seen anything that good in a very long time. Well, ever, I could say. Mostly when you get these things molded, you just got a depression in there. So, but the fact that these vents go all the way through, that is some very impressive molding. And it's the same with all of them. All these. There are pushpin marks on these parts here. You won't see them unless you decide to open up the aircraft, which I'm not going to be doing. But yeah, there you go. This is sprue C. Next up, another full-size sprue. This is sprue F. So sprue F, as you can see, is the main fuselage, the top bit of the main fuselage, where the observer and pilot will sit, and the tail parts, tail fins, which are very thin, very fine. Oh, yeah, very thin. They're getting practically translucent at the edges there. More bits of the front part of the aircraft. The molding on the fuselage basically shows the ribbing. So I'm assuming all of this was covered up in canvas, dope fabric, something like that. And on the inside, you've got these little ribs, which would be replicating the ribs that would appear in the actual aircraft. And yeah, the tail fin there, which again is very thin and very fine. If you look at it in the right angle, you can pretty much get light shining through it. Well, not quite, but almost quite. And yeah, nothing much to say about that. Rather, a lot you can say about it, but I've already said everything. I've already said that about all the other parts. So yeah, the molding is beautiful, zero flash anywhere, which I haven't said before. And yeah, push-in marks only where they're necessary, like on this one here. But then you're not going to see the inside of that, so that's okay. Same with that one. There you go. That is sprue F. Next up, so this is sprue D. Get to one of the smaller sprues now, and this sprue D, as you can see, we have wheels with separate hubs or hubcaps, I could say, wing struts, and something for the engine there, another piece for the engine, a few little machine guns there, and this piece here, which appears to be a magazine for the machine gun. Again, repeating myself again, very clear, very clean moulding, nothing out of place, and everything looking perfectly beautiful. Particularly like that one. The detail on it is superb, as it is with virtually all the parts in this kit. Sprue D. Next up is another sprue D, again all separately boxed, so we've looked at that already. Another grey sprue, this one is sprue E. So this one is almost entirely engine parts. It's that way up, but it's easy to look at it that way up. So you got the cylinders there, made out of 2 parts, all 9 cylinders. Unlike some other model manufacturers, you don't have images of pistons on the inside, which would be a bit of a waste of time in my opinion, but there you go. And then you got this massive piece here, which looks like a wheel, but is, I believe, something goes on the engine, push rods or something like that. I'm not entirely certain. I'm not that much of an engineer when it comes to vintage aero engines, but yeah, got this little piece of pipe work and instrumentation, not just pipe work. And in fact, probably the only thing that has any bit of in the way of flash on it, just there. Very easy to remove, as I just removed a little piece of it there. Yeah. I'm surprised that this is a water-cooled engine, because which is why you have the radiator in there. I assumed it would have been an air-cooled one, being a radial, but I was wrong. So cylinder parts, 2 halves, set of pipes that goes into there, some more pipes. That's a distributor ring, is it? One very nicely made propeller, and one very prettily made propeller. I'm going to have to be careful painting that nice. And there you go. That is sprue E. And it's back. And last but not least, are the clear parts, which I shall invade. So this is sprue C, and there's very few clear parts in this because there's some very minor distortion on the corners. I don't know if it shows. With the light shining on the plastic, there is some minor distortion visible in the edges, in the corners. But apart from that, it's all very nice. So those are windscreens. I don't know what this is. I guess I'll have to look at the instructions. And something else that's also clear. So there you go, that is sprue C. And there we have it. That's the Wingnut Wings Salmson 2-A2 USAS. So I assume the USAS means that this is an American fighter, or rather aircraft built for the American. Let's have a quick read of what it says at the bottom here. The rugged and dependable 260 horsepower engine, radial engine powered Salmson 2A2 observation and reconnaissance aircraft entered French service in October 1917. It featured a large radiator, powerful radial engine, self-sealing fuel tanks, aluminium engine, cowlings, conventional wooden fuselage and wing construction with silk fabric covering. The Salmson 2A2 was also widely used by the USAAS Air Service, United States Army. So, United States Army Air Service, maybe. Yeah. And a total of 705 aircraft were delivered to the USAAS, more than any other two-seater used by the American Expeditionary Force, AEF, during the First World War. 2,300 Salmson A2As, 2A2s, start again, 2,300 Salmson 2-A2 were manufactured by Salmson, Letcore, Hanriot and Compagnie General Omnibus, CGO. Additionally, 300, 600 licensed and unlicensed examples were built in Japan. In Japan from 1920 to 1927 by Kawasaki as the Type Otsu-1 reconnaissance aircraft. Following the armistice, the Salmson 2-A2 was used during occupational duties in Germany and was phased out of French service by 1921. The Salmson 2A2 also saw service in the new Czechoslovak Air Force, both sides in the Russian Civil War, Poland, Belgium, and limited use as a civilian passenger aircraft. The Japanese Type Otsu-1 reconnaissance aircraft saw service in Siberia in 1922 and China in 1931 and was not completely replaced until 1933. So there you go. So the Japanese had it too. It appears that all the vehicles we're seeing here are the American service aircraft, which is probably why it says USAS on the front there. There's also a little figure here which I assume is a figure of a pilot. I'm not sure who it is, but I know there's no figure in this kit, so it could have been one of the optional or freebie extras if you bought it in the original pressing. So there you go. Like here, it shows it appears to have shot down a German, what appears to be a what's it called that? I recognise the model, and indeed it's the kit I would have liked to have had instead of this, but hey, who knows. Yeah. Anyway, so this is the Salmson A2. What do you think of this kit? Well, it's a Wingnut Wings kit, and like all the stories I've heard about them, it appears to be a very well put together kit, and hopefully it will go together very well. Of course, how well it goes together will be in the building of it. I'm fairly certain that it will go together well. This Wingnut Wings were designed and manufactured by modelers for modelers. So, you know, if you're designing a kit to be built by people who enjoy the hobby, and you too enjoy the hobby, then you know what you're doing. So, I'm fairly certain it'll go together real well. Will I be building this kit? Yes. When will I be building this kit? Don't know. I do not know. I'm not going to make any determination as to when I'm going to build it, but I certainly will be building it. And I'll probably try to figure out where to get my friend's name onto it somewhere. Yeah. So, how I'm going to get, where I'm going to put it, you know, I suppose I could ask her where she'd like her name to be on the aircraft, assuming she even wants a name on the aircraft. Unlikely, but we'll find out. Anyway, that's all for today. Have you built this kit, this Salmson? What other Wingnut Wings kits have you built? This will be my first build of a Wingnut Wings kit. Wingnuts. This will be my first build of a Wingnut Wings, and the second one will probably happen not long after I've done the review of that particular model kit. I won't tell you what it is until I've actually get around to building it, but or rather doing a first look of it. again, like this one, I have had a look at that one. It's still in the bags entirely because I didn't each, as you saw there, each separate sprue is in its own bag, so you could actually have a good look at the whole thing without taking it out of the bags. But I've taken it out of the bags because I wanted to do that, and so there you go. And so go back to the question I was asking: have you built this kit? Have you built this kit? And if you have, do you have any tips that will make my build more fun? Because that's what I do this for, fun. Anyway, thank you very much for watching this, kids. I shall put links below for Andy's hobby headquarters, so you can have a look at what he's got, what he's up to. He recently moved from his shop, which was already pretty big, to an even bigger shop, actually to a whole blooming warehouse by the looks of things. And so you can buy models from me if you're in America, if you're the rest of the world, if you're in Europe. He's got a Europe shop, so you can buy online from his European store as well. Right. Also links to some other people, some other links of interest down below if you're interested. Links to other modelers that I enjoy watching and stuff like that. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. If you got this far, put something down below saying that how much you enjoyed the Samsung USAS. My look at this Samsung USAS. And thank you very much for watching. Take care everybody, and happy modeling. I hope that went well. This is my first or second proper recording on my new setup. I say new setup as it's all the same as before, but different arrangement here. Got a new mast for the camera, which I'm quite proud of. If you want to see my new setup here, because before the camera above you, the camera filming my hands here, that was standing on a tripod with the boom arm sticking out, and that wasn't very. If I move the table, the tripod didn't. So now, if I move the table, which I'm going to do now, oops, I move the iPhone camera filming me, but everything else didn't. So that's a new addition to the table that I'm very happy with. It's the first time I've actually used it, surprisingly enough. So after all the commotion of last year, or late last year. So yeah. Anyway, that's beside the point here. Yeah. Take care, everybody. And and Happy New Year as well. It's 2026 as you watch this. It's the 29th of December as I record this. So by the time I've got it edited and posted, it will be probably the first or maybe even the second Friday of 2026. Nearly forgot what year it was going to be. Anyway, till next time, people. Take care, everyone. Which to stop first? Yeah, you.